Hey everybody, this is Strategy Wizard again, and this is my son Nathan.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing a review of The Three Little Pigs, published by Iello and designed by Laurent Pouchain, something like that. I could be getting it wrong, and I apologize if I am. But this is for ages 7 and up. It's for 2 to 5 players, and it's 20 minutes long. It's part of this Tales and Games series that Iello's doing, where all the boxes look like a book, which is cool, and it's based on some story that kids will be familiar with, some classic tale. So, and also, if you'll notice, this already has the Dice Tower Seal of Excellence, if you can see that, which is gives you an idea of what we might think, possibly. But anyway, I didn't really know much about this game whenever I got it, but I thought, I showed it to Nathan online, and he said he thought it looked pretty cool, so I got it for him for his birthday, and we played it. We're going to go down, we're going to tell you how to play, and then we'll let you know what we think. Okay, so here's the setup for the Three Little Pigs, and this is whether or not you're playing with 2, 3, 4, or 5 players. You have a stack of tiles for each different type: straw, wood, brick, and for each portion of the house: roof, window, or door. So with these cards here, these are bonus cards that give you extra points at the end of the game. This is an expert variant, and this is the way I prefer to play, so this is the way I'm going to teach it. But if you just know that if you don't play with these, basically what happens is you get points for how many flower pots you have, and 1 point for each completed house you have. But we're going to ignore that. We're going to be focusing on these bonus cards here for the end game scoring. Now, you also have these dice, which are nice and pink because we have little pink pigs.
Right. And
we have the spinner here. So here's how you play. Well, before I say how you play, I should say the goal of the game is to get the most points. You get points by the number of little piggies that you see on each tile. So straw gives you 2 points for each portion of the house.
And it's money.
Wood gives you 3, and brick gives you 4. And like Nathan says, that's also the cost of each portion of a building. So,
right.
Nathan, go ahead and roll, and we'll show how this gets started.
Right. So basically, I have 3 windows. I can basically almost get that, but I'm gonna re-roll and hope I get another window. Let's roll. Yes, I just got lucky. So
Nathan rolled 5 windows. You get 2 re-rolls. So after his first roll, he can choose to re-roll some or all of his dice, and he chose to re-roll, and he got lucky, got 5. Now having 5 is no better than having 4, but it does give him the best window piece, which is the brick. So that's worth 4 points. That's already a good start. Now here's the thing. Whenever you're building a house, you have to start with either a door or a window. You can't start with a roof for your house.
That's just weird. You can't even hide in it. A window you actually can.
Yeah, and obviously if you built, and this is the thing. Let's say Nathan decided to build a roof. If he was able to build a roof on his next turn, that would complete this house. It can't be any bigger than this. It stops as soon as you put a roof on it. Now,
right, because the window can be used not
as a bottom piece. Now, here's the thing.
A roof in the top wouldn't it would be silly.
You can make things mixed with straw, wood, brick, and you can make it taller. So you can have a lot of different combinations of styles of houses. They can get as tall as you want. The only thing is you can only have 1 door at the bottom. And let's say you started with, let's say I had that right now. I started with this. I added this window. I could add the door later underneath if I wanted to. But as soon as that roof goes on top, it's over, even if I didn't have a door. That would be a complete house. Can't build any more. But like I say, you can combine any variety of materials to make your house. So, in this case, Nathan has his
a brick window,
and I'm going to roll. Oh man! Now here's the other thing that you can roll.
This is whenever the clock comes. Well,
spinner.
Spinner.
So if you roll 2 wolves, first of all, you can never re-roll wolves. So if I rolled a 1, that's locked. And you'll notice there's black and there's white engraving on the dice. The black dice are the only ones with wolves.
Right, if you only get 1 wolf, that won't do anything, but if you get 2...
That's whenever you have to end your turn and you have to pull out the spinner. Now here's the thing. If you, like I say, you can't re-roll the wolves, so if you had 1, I couldn't re-roll it, and that kind of adds an element of strategy to the game, that whenever you re-roll, you might decide, I don't really want to re-roll these black dice because they might make me get more wolves. The white dice you know are safe, so that's just an important thing to keep to remember. But in this case, since I have 2 wolves, my turn immediately ends as far as trying to buy anything. Can't buy anything this turn, but what I can do is try to blow away someone else's house. So in this case, Nathan's the only one with a house, and it's brick is all he has. So let's just pretend he had this.
Right.
I would have to choose, do I want to try to blow away his brick? I'm sorry, that's not the case. I said that wrong. If he had, let's say he had 2 houses, I would have to choose which one of these houses I wanted to blow away. So,
of course you should do the hay though, because,
well, there's reasons to do both, but let's say I point at this one. What they recommend is to blow it like a wolf. So I'm going to get down here. You spin, and it landed on straw. So, since I pointed at this house, didn't I? Isn't that the one I pointed at, Nathan?
Right.
Then I blow away every portion of the house that is the material that I landed on. I landed on straw, so his straw roof blows away. So now he can actually continue building it more if he wanted to, which could be a good thing for him if he wanted to make it taller. But the point is, that's how this works basically, and it gets discarded. It does not get added here, which is important because the game is going to end whenever a certain number of stacks are depleted. In a 2-player game, if 2 stacks are depleted, the game ends. If it's 3 players, 3 stacks, etc. So it gets discarded away, not added back. And now it would be Nathan's turn again. And you keep going back and forth, rolling dice. If you get the wolves, you're trying to blow people's houses down. And, of course, you can push your luck a little bit. I could have, let's say he had a brick house, and maybe this house starting. I could say, you know what, I'm going to blow at this one because I have great chances of getting wood or straw, but...
Right.
But if I really want to push my luck, I could go for that brick one and say, I'm going to go for brick and hope I spin it, and then go, oops, I messed up. Spin that puppy, and I didn't make it. So in that case, nothing would happen. This little house would stay perfectly safe. So those are things you have to keep track of and think about. Well, is it worth trying to take that chance to blow away the things that are worth more points or not? At the end of the game, Nathan, how do you get points?
At the end of the game, how you get points is by these little piggies.
Okay, so how many points would you have right now?
Right now, I would have 8. I'm good at math, but 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Now, you added correctly, but he would only have 8 points because this house is not complete. Without a roof, it doesn't count as being...
So why? So it would only be 8.
So you discard these, he'd have 8 points. But there are bonus points that are available. So if you are the first person to build a straw house, then you'll get 2 points. The thing is, whenever they say a complete straw house, what they actually mean is it has to have a door, window, and roof. You have to have all 3 pieces of the house. So this right here, perfect example. This does not count as a complete brick home, so he wouldn't get the brick home bonus. But
why? It does so, and it kind of shows you right here. You have to have a roof and a window.
You have to have all 3. And again, that's the first person to build it. So we might both have a complete house, but whoever built it first gets the bonus.
Even if you do this, you still can't do it because it has to be
all brick.
Right.
And that goes for the wood and the straw. If the first person to build a complete house of any of those materials gets that bonus card.
Even this can't.
But then you have this one, which is flowers. Whoever has most flower pots, you'll notice this tile has how many, Nathan?
2.
And this one has
1. So
even some windows have flowers, but not all do. So as you're uncovering things, you might reveal, oh man, 2 flower pots there, that's more valuable.
And
because whoever has the most flower pots.
This though, because if there's even 4 flowers,
it's not the number of flowers, the number of flower pots, and whoever has the most gets this plus 3 points at the end of the game.
So I'm just gonna make an example. Just to say, if I had this, I had flowers, and he had none. Then I would get the flower pot because he doesn't have any flowers.
Like in this case, I would have 6 points. He would have 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus, he'd get these 3 points for the flowers. Now, then you also get 3 points for whoever has the tallest house. Now, the tallest house, as I said before, you can continue to build more and more and higher and higher and higher, which of course, gives you more points for the house, but it also gives you the bonus of having, that bonus card. But here's the thing. The tallest house must have a roof. Well, it has to have a roof, obviously, because it has to be complete. You can even tell from that. But it also has to have a door. Now, that means, again, it has to be a full, complete house. Even though this counts as a complete house for counting the points on the tiles, it will not count for being the tallest house.
These two can't, basically.
This one is the exception. I'm going to double check. It says, regardless of the number of floors and whether or not they have a door, this one, this bonus goes to whoever has the most completed houses, even though it shows a door here. And that's the one thing that I think they could have kind of made this a little more obvious. The doors don't have to be there in this case. It's just so that this would, this would count. And whoever has the most completed houses with a door or not will get this one. If there's a tie, then in any of these, then no one gets the points. But that is basically how you play the game. It has a kind of a Yahtzee element, rolling the dice, pushing your luck, trying to get what you want. Sometimes you might go for things that you think are, trying to get for the good stuff, and you end up failing and rolling wolves instead, and then you have to try to blow people's houses away. But again, there's nothing, that's not a bad thing. That still gives you a chance to try to hurt someone. It doesn't hurt yourself, and that's important to remember. So, that's how you play. Let's go ahead and go back up top, and we will tell you what we think. Okay, so now that you know how to play, what do we think? Nathan, component quality. Do you like the components? Do you think everything's pretty good?
I like the components. I think everything's pretty good.
What's your favorite part of the components?
Well, the dice.
Okay, you think the dice are the best?
Oh, out of the components, how it looks good. I think both are the best.
The cards and the dice?
I think everything's the best.
Well, all the components in this game are pretty well done. I mean, the dice are engraved nicely, and although, there might have been maybe, like this one, this house right here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, isn't perfectly painted. There's a little imperfection there, but that's neither here. I can live with that. That's no big deal. Overall, the dice are good quality, good engraved. The cardboard pieces are very thick and sturdy. I like that a lot. The artwork is very just whimsical and kid-friendly. The spinner works really well, better than others that I've seen that have a really hard time. This thing spins like a champ. And to me, the spinner being good is a big one, because I've seen, like I say, I've had some spinners that are so mediocre that it kind of takes away from the game, but this one's very well made. And even on the back, there's some really cool artwork, so that's nice. And the insert, I don't know if I'll be able to show this very well without making a mess, but maybe I can. The insert is great. It fits everything, and the lid, on the inside of the lid, it shows you the setup of the game. That's awesome. So component quality, stellar. Now, what about replayability? Do you think this is a game that you can play over and over again and enjoy?
I think it's a game you can play over and over and over and over and over again.
Okay, and why do you think that is? What makes it replayable to you?
It's hard to say. It's just really fun.
That's a good reason. If it's really fun, then you want to play it again. For me, replayability comes from, of course, the dice. You're rolling the dice and you're pushing your luck. You're trying to decide, oh man, do I really want to roll? And not only that, but the fact that the black dice have a chance of having a wolf, but the white dice don't, that can affect, do you want to push your luck with the black dice? Oh, but I might roll a wolf. Then,
right, only the black ones have wolves somehow.
Yeah, which makes it interesting because it gives you knowledge that can help you make good decisions.
What makes it tough is that there's 3, and whenever you keep on rolling, like if you got 2 windows and a door, you're scared because you're like, I only wanted to do the white ones, then you end up getting doors or something. So it's a gamble doing the blacks.
Yeah, with the blacks you're taking a chance, and sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. It's up to you to make that choice. But that gives that agency that keeps the replayability high, because you're always wondering, ooh, what's the right thing to do? And the fact that this right here, this wonderful spinner, it adds a lot of excitement, because if you do get those 2 wolves on your turn, and you have to choose what kind of house you want to blow down.
And the brick, if you want to get the brick, it only has 1 of them.
Yeah, and that choice is what makes it kind of tense.
You don't want the hay because almost no one wants to get the hay.
And that's, and making that, especially if someone has a house that's mixed, Maybe they have 2 brick and 1 wood. Do you say, I'm going to try to blow down the brick and take that chance that there's only 1 spot on here that could hit it, but if you got it, you'd knock out 2 really valuable parts of their house? Or do you go for the wood that's you're more likely to hit it, but it won't be as devastating to them? All that stuff, it makes it to where you always feel like you have cool things going on, and it makes it replayable. As far as strategy, Nathan, do you think there's good and important, meaningful choices to be made in this game?
I think there's choices.
Like what?
Like the dice, you gotta choose. You gotta choose, like, what do I want? Do I need a door? Should I take a window? Or should I take a roof? And see, you could just take a long one, but then you could just complete a house for already more points and get these. So it's a gamble, you gotta think.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes it interesting strategically. You know, you have all the bonus cards if you play with the bonus cards. Honestly, that's the only way that I play it because I think that adds a lot of intrigue. Trying to build a full wood house or a full brick house or straw house first, you want to do that to get those bonus points. But sometimes in that struggle to finish that house of straw or wood, you actually end up hurting yourself because you push your luck too much and you miss out on other opportunities and you fail to even get the house that you're trying to build. Or you're trying to build the tallest house, so you're focused on trying to get all those windows. Well, maybe you'll never end up finishing the house because you took too long trying to focus on getting all those windows stacked up, and then you never got a roof when you needed it. So there's interesting ways of pushing your luck and trying to decide, and sometimes you might even decide, you know what, I want to get the wolf because someone has,
One time I was like that, and yep, one time I was.
Yeah, and I have too, because if somebody has maybe a 4-story straw house, you want to get the wolves because the chances of blowing down a straw house is high, and if you can get rid of a 4-story house, you eliminate probably their chance of getting the tallest house, and you have a chance of just blowing away a bunch of their points and maybe some of their flowers. So it's interesting that it makes you want to do that sometimes, and it gives you another choice that's important.
And like the brick house, it takes a long time because it only is one of those, like I said.
Yeah, and making that choice is sometimes it's worth it. I've seen people blow down brick houses before. It just takes a little bit of risk, a little bit of bravery and courage, but you can pull it off. Lots of great strategic choices here in this game, in my opinion, for a kid's game especially. There's enough stuff going on where you can actually, your agency is actually pretty great. I'm impressed. So what do we think about this game?
Think like waiting?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 1,000 out of 10.
So it's your favorite?
It's my favorite. Except for me, what cookies?
Those are your 2 favorites.
Those are my 2 favorites.
Well, I have to say,
everything else.
I can definitely see why Nathan likes this one so much because not only the theme is fun, it's lighthearted and it's exciting. There's dice to roll that which is always exciting and enjoyable, and then you have the spinner sometimes, and you're trying to make that decide what's trying to blow down. All that stuff is really exciting.
And it only takes 2 wolves. It doesn't take 3, so it's a gamble. What should you do? Because there's 3 wolves.
There's 3 dice, and you only need 2 to get busted with a wolf. And it's just, I don't know, the game has a lot going for it. And I will have to admit, as a kid's game, to me, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. I mean, it's something that I think kids can really get into and understand the mechanics.
I'm sure a lot of kids can get into this game. It's really fun.
Yeah, and the mechanics are simple. Rolling dice is simple. Trying to putting your dice together to see what you can buy, that's simple. Deciding, do I want to re-roll to try to get something else? That's simple. And then choosing, what do I want to blow away? That's simple because you decide you want to go for the big stuff that's worth a lot of points or the stuff that's easier to get but not worth as many points. All those things are very simple, and yet whenever you put them all together, it makes for a very engaging game. You're excited about your choices. You're excited about what you're rolling, and you're paying attention to what other people are getting, who's getting close to getting what bonus card. All that's awesome. I like it a lot. Nathan likes it a lot. So 10 out of 10 for me, 1,000 out of 10 for him. This one is, to me, about the best kids game I've ever played. I really do think so. So I can see why the Dice Tower gave it the seal of excellence.
I thought you said something else was really good, too.
Maybe. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, there probably was one. I don't remember what it was, but I know there has been, and there will probably continue to be some other really good ones. But this one's impressed me. I'm very happy with it. So, that being said, we appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully it was helpful and you enjoyed it. If you did like it, you could give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. And also, if you really enjoyed it, you could subscribe so you can see more of our videos. But in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you on the next one, and we'll see you then.
And hopefully you enjoy it.
Exactly. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.